In this tutorial, we'll introduce you to Performance Mode. We'll see how to connect your controllers, set up a Performance Mode project, and some of the options you have when working with it. But first, let's see Charles Deluxe drop a track using Performance Mode. A wide range of MIDI controllers are supported. Let's start by connecting a launchpad. Special to the launchpad, make sure to exit Automap if it's active. After connecting, it should be detected by FL Studio. Then make sure it's selected in the MIDI output and input fields with the same port number. Finally, ensure it's enabled in the controller type field. OK, let's connect an APC40. Turn it on, and FL Studio should auto-detect it. Notice the MIDI in and out ports are set to the same unique port number. In this way, you can use as many controllers as you like. Don't forget to make sure the APC40 controller type is enabled. So here's our source project. Let's prepare it for performance mode. The quickest way is to select Tools, Macros, Prepare for Performance Mode. Note the pop-up is warning that the project is about to be modified, so make sure you have saved a copy before pressing OK. So what did the macro do? First, it selected Performance Mode in the playlist menu. It also added 16 time markers of type None and one at the end of type Start. It's the position of the start marker that defines the performance zone. From there, you can trigger audio, automation, or pattern clips in any combination. The macro also set project options, project general settings, play truncated notes in clips on. This ensures when you trigger pattern clips in the same track, they cut each other or their own notes. It's also useful for the case when you're slicing pattern clips and the note spans the slice point. Before we move on, you may have noticed these indented tracks. You can now group playlist tracks. To do that, click on a divider and drag up to group with the one above it. You can also use the right-click Track Group option. Double-clicking the divider will minimize the tracks. To ungroup, click on the lower divider and drag up until it ungroups. Group tracks also move together, which is useful. Use a Shift plus mouse wheel to move. So let's complete our performance project. As you can see, we can connect as many controllers as we like. Now copy the clips across you want to use in the performance zone. Notice the controllers detect the clips as they're added, and when you slice clips, it auto-creates new active trigger buttons. Next, control-click the Start marker to select everything after it and hit the Delete button on your keyboard. Finally, Shift plus 6 to auto-resize the performance zone. Normally, if you have multiple controllers connected, you'd map them to different areas of the performance zone. For example, pressing the down button on the pad control moves in jumps of 4x4 clips. Notice the playlist showing active zone graphics, the red square, for supported controllers. Next, we'll have a closer look at some of the performance mode features and some other control methods, including mouse, MIDI keyboard, and the typing keyboard. Here we have our project with several clips pre-selected. When the project is stopped, use the mute tool to unmute clips to select them and mute them to deselect them. I'll select these three. A useful tip: select Wait, then press play, and the performance mode won't start until you touch the clip or key on your controller. I'll also select the pencil tool as the mute is only needed to select and deselect clips while stopped. You probably notice these clips are staying while the ARP is marching. That's part of the Per Playlist Track controls. Right-click a track header to display. Here the ARP is selected to march and wrap. I'll select march and stay. Also, if you select items in the menu with the right mouse button, it will stay open. Back to march and wrap. So there's also other controls such as trigger sync. I'll change it to 1 beat. I'll leave you to consult the manual for the other controls. Stop clips by right-clicking on them. Left-click on a track header or an empty track lane. So what about these animations? They're controlled from the Playlist menu, View, Time category. Precise time indicator sets smooth or snapped animations. Performance clip progress is the in-clip animation. And performance track progress switches the clocks at the start of the tracks. Okay, what about other control methods? Besides the mouse, you can use a standard MIDI keyboard. First, select your MIDI options and set the performance mode MIDI channel to 1. Each octave starting from C0 maps to 12 clips per playlist track, so I select Wait and click C0 to trigger the first clip. If you run out of octaves, use your controller's octave switch. You can stop a track by selecting an empty slot in the octave or put clips in latch mode. Yes, well, those that can do, those that can't, teach. Finally, the typing keyboard can be used. As with the MIDI keyboard, set the performance mode MIDI channel to 1. Then right-click the typing keyboard switch on the recording panel and select Performance Mode. Now each group of 5 keys on each row of the keyboard will map to a playlist track and clips. With that, I'll leave Charles Deluxe to play you out with his project that we've been abusing in this tutorial. It's also included in the 10.5 beta. Enjoy!